A lawsuit needs to be immediately filed against the Trump regime to enjoin or block them from further destruction of the East Wing of the White House. It is a violation of the power of the purse under Article 1 of Congress. It is a violation of certain historical commission acts that require a process to take place before there are massive structural changes being done to historic buildings in Washington, D.C. I believe it is a violation of the emoluments provision in the Constitution, the emoluments clause. I think it is also a potential violation of federal law that prevents quid pro quos with private businesses. And so discovery is needed there. I've been shouting now for months that somebody with standing needs to file this lawsuit. We can't let this continue as the people's house, the White House, is destroyed. And no one yet has filed this lawsuit. I'm no longer a practicing litigator. I run the MeidasTouch network. It's not in my province to file these types of lawsuits anymore. I don't do that. But I'm going to give you the roadmap right now about what you can do from a federal perspective, from a constitutional perspective, and even from a Washington, D.C. local municipality and ordinance perspective. Now, obviously, federal law trumps, no pun intended, the local DC ordinances, but where the activity from the White House that spills over into other areas of DC, whether it's certain height requirements, whether it is other areas that are controlled by the district itself, and the president does not go through proper channels, that could also pose a violation. Now, I think one of the issues is that the litigation has to move very quick, obviously, because the Trump regime is every day destroying more and more and more of the East Wing. I mean, you've seen the images, right, about how horrific it looks. I mean, there was the image that was posted during the day of the East Wing being ripped apart, cranes and bulldozers just destroying it. And then there was a photo that was taken during the evening that is also just utterly horrific looking. I mean, it looks absolutely terrible what's been done to it. Now, here's the thing that we need to always remember with this thing. Donald Trump has engaged in a massive fraud here, right? Donald Trump previously said, and I'm going to show you how I would go about writing this lawsuit for anyone who's drafting this. Let me give you your exhibits and your documents right now, okay? When Donald Trump first talked about this ballroom, what did he say? He said, it won't interfere with the current building. It won't be. It'll be near it, but it won't be touching it. So arguably one of the reasons why people didn't file a lawsuit is because they believed Donald Trump's fraud, where he said it would not touch the actual White House. And they go, well, if it doesn't touch the White House and it's coming from private funds, I don't know, maybe it's not something that we should bring a lawsuit. I still said bring the lawsuit back then. I've been making videos about this because I still think there could be unlawful quid pro quos taking place. I think it's a violation of the appropriations power of Congress. But just so you can remember what Donald Trump said, he goes, it won't interfere with the current building. Obviously, that's a fraud. Here, play this clip.
It won't interfere with the current building. It won't be. It'll be near it, but not touching it, and pays total respect to the existing building, which I'm the biggest fan of. It's my favorite. It's my favorite place. I love it.
Then you had Donald Trump telling state regime media known as Fox that he was going to be the one who paid for everything. He said it's all coming out of his funds. There's only going to be one donor. He said, me, I'm going to pay the $250 million Golden Ballroom myself. Here, play this clip.
How many donors do you think it's going to take to get the $200 million?
Maybe one, me. But
you would cut that check yourself?
I would, yeah. I would.
And then Donald Trump, remember, he went on the roof in early August and he said, look, I'm going to spend my money. This is my money that I'm spending, right? Remember what he said? Again, more fraud right here. Here, play this clip.
Mr. President, why are you doing up there? Taking a little walk. Come out and go for it. Good for your health. Are you going to pull up? I do. What does that mean? What do you? Four ways to spend my money. Can you give us another thing? Well, we'll show you. It's just another way to spend my money for the country. Anything I do is financed by me, so in other words, contributed. Just like my salary is contributed, nobody ever mentions that.
Then back in September, there was this article. Demolition for new White House ballroom doesn't need approval. Trump appointed commission head says. That's false. It needs approval. I'm going to go through the laws with you that show that it needs approval. Demolition to build Trump's new ballroom off the East Wing can begin without approval of the commission tasked with vetting construction of federal buildings, the Trump-appointed head of the panel said Thursday. That's when I was saying, file the lawsuit. Remember the videos I made back then? I said, file the lawsuit then. Will Scharf, who is also the White House staff secretary, said during a public meeting of the National Capital Planning Commission that the board does not have jurisdiction over demolition or site preparation for work buildings on federal property. What we deal with is essentially construction vertical, Scharf said. He called Trump's promised ballroom one of the most exciting construction projects in the modern history of Washington, about $250 million, 90,000 square feet. The article went on to say, the Planning Commission is responsible for approving construction work and major renovations to government buildings in the Washington area. I'm going to go through the statute that deals with that. It says nothing about it just deals with things going vertical. It absolutely deals with this exact situation, not construction going vertical. Yes, destroying, ripping apart the White House is the exact thing that is at the center of this law. And then Donald Trump then admitted, well, he's not going to be paying for it himself. Remember, was it 2 weeks ago, he held that meeting in the White House where he brought in all his right-wing oligarchs and he talked to them about each one of them paying $25 million each or more to get their name on the White House, that a corporation could get their name on the White House. Here, play this clip.
And we'll be able to have state dinners, the kind we would literally not even have state dinners because it's not set up. But for all those years, they wanted it and now they're going to get it. And because of you, they're going to get it. And me too. We're all in this together. And I mean, I have so many friends and so many of you have been really, really generous. I mean, a couple of you, I'm sitting here saying, sir, would $25 million be appropriate? I said, I'll take it. You know, it doesn't take too many 25s to get it done. But a lot of you have been really fantastic. Ike, thank you very much. You were great. You were great, Ike Perlmutter.
Now, I'm going to get into the specific laws in just a moment, but I want to build up all the evidence for anybody who wants to draft this lawsuit. Hint, hint, hint. I'm giving you the freaking roadmap right now. So remember, then a reporter previously asked Donald Trump a few weeks back, basically, are you going to block foreign donations from contributing to the ballroom? Are you going to stop foreign donations? Why? That could be a violation. It would be a violation of the emoluments clause of the Constitution. Here, play this clip.
The construction, you say you're raising $200 million, you're donating a bunch, others are as well. Are you blocking foreigners from donating money to build that addition?
Honestly, I never even thought of it, but it doesn't matter. I'm putting up my money, but it doesn't even matter. They've wanted a ballroom at the White House, and it's been very popular. You know, when we put it out yesterday.
You're not ruling out that a crown prince or some European
I'm not looking for that. You know, you have very strong restrictions as to who can donate, and we go by the restrictions.
It's
not a lot of. I mean, it's not that much money.
Will you release the names of the donors?
Yeah, I'll do that. I didn't even start yet, by the way. But when I do, I'll release them.
How many donors do you think it's going to take to get to $200 million?
Maybe one, me. But
you would cut that check yourself?
I would, yeah.
Well, back on September 19, 2025, Jennifer Jacobs and CBS got the following scoop that if you contributed money to the White House ballroom, you may be able to get your names etched inside the White House forever. If you make a $5 million to $25 million contribution, you can get your name actually on the White House. We need more information about that, right? We need more discovery about that. But what we do know is Trump committed a fraud when he claimed that he was going to be paying for it all by himself. As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, wrote back on September 19, 2025, for a month, Trump said he was personally paying for the ballroom. Now we learn he's been shaking down corporations to pay for it who want something from the government. Another corrupt Trump scam between Trump and CEOs, and Trump continues to lie about it. Now, here's an interesting data point. I'm looking for more information this morning that the DC government website for illegal construction reports that an inspection has been scheduled for the White House today. So that could be interesting, but let's go through some of these laws right now. The National Capital Planning Act, 40 U.S.C. Section 8701 requires submission of plans for major federal construction or alterations in the National Capital Region, including the White House grounds, to the National Capital Planning Commission for review and approval to ensure compatibility with federal planning goals. Okay. Proceeding without NCPC approval could violate submission and review requirements, potentially leading to halted work or redesign orders. It says nothing about it's got to go vertical like the Trump regime says. That's precisely on point. Separately, there's the Committee for the Preservation of the White House Establishment, 3 U.S.C. Section 903 and Executive Orders 11145 and 1964, establishing a non-binding advisory committee chaired by the NPS director to recommend on preserving the White House's historic furnishing, structure, and character during renovations. Ignoring or inadequately consulting the Committee on Demolishing the East Wing, a historic addition could be a breach of this provision in these executive orders as well. Then there's the National Environmental Policy Act, NEPA, 42 U.S.C. Section 4321. It mandates environmental impact assessments for major federal actions that could affect the environment, including demolition, generating dust, noise, waste, or habitat disruption on the grounds. Skipping NEPA review for a 90,000 square foot project could violate requirements for public disclosure and mitigation, especially given the site's proximity to urban areas. Then there's the Ethics in Government Act, 5 U.S.C. Section 101, and the Federal Election Campaign Act, 52 U.S.C. Section 30101, which prohibits improper use of office for personal gain, private donations for the $250 million project from corporate executives must be disclosed and not influence policy. Now, this could be a disclosure issue, and it could be cured if the disclosure is made, but there has to be disclosure about what is going on here. Accepting undisclosed or quid pro quo donations for a vanity project could violate gift bans or campaign finance rules. But here's the thing. If it's done in a transparent way, then you could potentially deal with it. But we need to know, where is the source of this? What is happening? I showed you the clip before as well about potential emoluments violations as well. Then you have some local DC municipal code sections like Title 12 of the DCMR. And obviously the federal law trumps state, or in this case, district law. But if you were to impact certain adjacent properties, that could be triggered. You have DC's historical preservation law, which mandates review by DC Historic Preservation's Office, and this usually requires cooperation and collaboration. Then as you go into the Constitution, Article 1, Section 9, Clause 7, the appropriation clause says, no money shall be drawn from the Treasury, but in consequence of appropriations made by law. So Congress holds the power of the purse and must authorize federal expenditures. The executive cannot unilaterally obligate funds without appropriation. You can't substitute private donors in place of congressional appropriations. So then what? You're going to have the right-wing oligarchs fund highways and military, and what you're not, the way around what Congress's role is, what Article 1 is just have rich billionaires fund it. That's clearly, to me, a violation of separation of powers, because you have the executive branch usurping, taking congressional authority and delegating it to right-wing oligarchs. Then you have Article 2, Section 3, take care clause, that the president must take care that the laws be faithfully executed. This would include the federal preservation and planning statutes like the National Capital Planning Act. Then you have Article 2, Section 1, the emoluments clause, prohibits the president from receiving any other emolument from foreign or domestic domestic sources without congressional consent to prevent corruption and undue influence. Is this money coming from Qatar, Saudi Arabia? Are the corporations all domestic corporations? How is that going to potentially impact this project? So I think right there, those are all the laws that are impacted. I think something needs to be done. And I don't know why you just take the word of Trump's White House guy who says that the White House National Capital Planning Commission board does not have jurisdiction over the very thing it's supposed to have jurisdiction over. That's literally what its job is. So I give you the roadmap. Do what you want with the roadmap, but it's there for you to see. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. Thank you all for watching.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.